Hello. Okay. Here we go. I'm just waiting for chat to come up so I can check it's working. Go back. Yep, chat is on. Good morning, everybody. So while I'm waiting for people to come in, what I am going to do is talk about what we're doing, and I need to. Hi, Kim. Hi, Mum. I need to just ink my stays on because I haven't had these out for quite a while because haven't done any workshops since last year. So the last time I used these was November, I think. So I'm just going to ink up my stays on, and what I say to everyone in my classes is don't throw this grotty bit away because that keeps the stays on in and stops it from evaporating. And basically you just squeeze it out and rub it in. Re-inking is really easy. So I'm just going to put a little bit in and let that sink in for a minute while we get started. Gets to a point with your stays on pads though where there's no amount of re-inking that will actually reinvigorate them. You do just better off just getting a new ink pad. Alright, there we go. Hi Lisa. Lovely to have you here. Okay, so today we are going to be playing with Angelina Fibre, which looks like this. And it does get everywhere, which sometimes is a plus, sometimes is a negative. Depends how you look at it. I found it in my bread bin once, and yeah, I don't know how it quite got into my bread bin, but it's all good. And then I'm going to be playing with the fusible film. I've got a few different colours. So the film comes in loads of different colours. The assortment packs is a really good value for money, and we have loads. Literally, we have loads. I did have some greens and some blues, but I can't put my finger on them, so they'll be in a box somewhere on my desk probably. And then I've got some more colours as well. Lots to play with today. So this is what we're going to be doing. I'm going to be showing you how to do blends. I don't have the purple at home, so I can't show you the purple. But I can blend with the others. Hi Tamara. Tamara's great with Angelina. Tamara's one of our design team, so make sure you follow her if you like fabric crafts. She's fantastic. And look at these. They're so cute. They're ones that are done with the film. And you can use Angelina on a polyplate. This one's not very good, but it's the only one that I pulled out of my box of samples. And this one, I believe, is part of the giveaway. I'm not sure. Kim will confirm that, but there's a giveaway going on her chanda. And I think that's in it. Oh, that's the picture they used anyway. It's this big circle one. I should have got it out, but it's in my drawer of stamps somewhere. Oh, found it. It's that one. It's the smaller one of that one. So it's this small circle haze. Came out really well. Looked great as a background. Alright, let's get to it. So, Angelina is really, really easy to use. A lot of people get really scared by it because you use basically heat, and it's not scary at all. So I have to work with. Get these out of the way. I've got an ironing board, and this is from IKEA, and it is my craft ironing board, so it's got like transfer dye on it, it's got a bit of paint on it, it's got all sorts on it, and I use this one. Yep, the polyplate is part of the giveaway, which is on Hochanda today at 2 p.m. So Kim is on Hochanda today at 2 with Crafty Roo, and then at 3 o'clock she is Facebook live streaming, and that's with Brusho, so all good. So what you need is a ironing board and then an iron, and this is the only time that I iron anything in my entire life, which my mum can attest to pretty much. A flat iron is best, one basically without holes. If you've got one that's got holes in it, don't stop moving your iron, and make sure that you turn the steam function off. That's all. Otherwise, these non-stick ones, we sell these. These are Home Life. They're not very expensive. I think they're about £14, something like that. They might have gone up. Don't quote me on that price. But they're under 20 definitely. And these ones are great because they're non-stick. So if your Angelina sticks to your iron, it just peels off when it's gone cool. I love these ones. I use these ones in workshops. And then we need baking parchment. So you can use anything that is not greased or waxed. So this is actual baking parchment. It's not wax paper, because obviously if you... See, I do know how to use an iron, Mum. I do, honest. You're all going to laugh at me shortly when you see me using one though, that's for sure. So if you're using heat and you're going to be ironing on it, if it's greased, it's going to mess it all up and put grease all over your project. And if it's waxed, it's also going to melt and put wax all over your project. So make sure that it's baking parchment or some kind of parchment packaging. I got a fancy pair of knitted boots made for me, and they arrived in this beautiful, really thick, really good quality parchment, like vellum parchment, and I could use that as well. But today I've got this piece of baking parchment, and I usually keep a couple of pieces just in my drawer, yeah, in my kit. Right, so iron on time. I always advise when you are not using the iron to turn it off. And these ones heat up really quick, and they also cool down really quickly. So when you're not using it, just leave it off. And I'm going to put this up, don't know if you'll be able to see, right up there at cotton. So I'm halfway through cotton, almost at linen, so 3/4 of the way through cotton really. And literally that's heating up already. Keep that to the side so I don't burn myself. At shows you'll quite often see me burning myself on the iron, so this is generally why I don't demo the Angelina at shows. Excuse me, I've got Angelina in my throat. I'm ready. Okay, first one I'm going to do is my favourite one. I'm going to do my Geisha Girl. She's so cute. I'm gutted. This is a, I've had this stamp for about 12 years. Quite literally. Must be about 12 years. It's a really old woodware one, and they don't make it anymore. So unfortunately you can't get it. But she is seriously my favourite. And I take this one to workshops because she's really popular. As you can see, she's a bit of a mess. She also, for some reason, has our expanding medium in it. It's not going to focus, but somebody's used her with expanding medium, so we'll see what happens with that, because when the heat hits the expanding medium, it's going to expand. So yeah, sorry, I'm saying so a lot today. I'm very conscious of that. Right, to begin, what you want to do is create a sandwich wrapper. So this is your bread, this is your bread. Your bread goes in a sandwich on the bottom and the top. And this is your filling. So this would be the equivalent of your lettuce. Then we're going to take Stays On, and it does need to be Stays On. Let me zoom in a little bit for you. There we go. So it does need to be Stays On. And I am going to ink her up really, really well. That's a nice and juicy pad now because I re-inked it. We always recommend using black because other colours of Stays On tend to get lost in your Angelina colours. The darker colours work really, really well. The dark reds, the dark browns, but the lighter colours just don't work at all. So we tend to just use black because it's just easier. And then what I'm going to do is take some colours, or I've got some green. So I want some green for the cherry blossoms. And you can go in afterwards and add in colour with your alcohol markers. So your alcohol markers will stick to cooked Angelina. So you can go in and highlight and do stuff. And then I'm going to give her, I think, a pink dress, but I think I want a bit of yellow in the pink. So I'm going to take some yellow, I'm going to put them together, and then I'm going to blend them. Just pull them about and mix it so it's nicely intermixed. Can you see? Yeah. And then on her face and hair, I'm going to go lighter. So I'm going to put some of this nice light and a little bit of pink. That should be plenty. You can see I've barely used any out of the packet. There is really not much there. Then I'm going to put my bread on my sandwich. I'm going to take my iron, which is hot, and then I'm going to iron. Now, you can see the image starting to come through. That means it's cooked. My iron might be a little bit too hot, so I'm going to turn it down a notch. Once you get to know your iron, you'll know if it's too hot. And exactly what temperature you need it on straight away. You can let kids do this. Just make sure that you do the ironing parts, but it is perfectly fine for kids to have a go and play. Okay. Now, what I like to do is what I call the Magic Waft, which is I do that. And after that, she'll be perfectly cool enough to touch. And there we have a beautiful Geisha Girl. She is gorgeous. Look at the shine on that. Now, because I put the lighter colour on her face, you can actually see her face really well. Let's see if I can get it. My camera doesn't like to focus on sparkly things, so I will try my best. But yeah, you can see her face. And the cherry blossoms, what I could do is go in with a permanent marker, an alcohol marker or alcohol inks, whatever, and colour in the cherry blossoms and put some colour in them. And of course, all of this excess, we don't waste it. It all gets used. And your stamp isn't damaged at all. It's not damaged at all. If you've got a good quality rubber stamp, you will never melt it by putting an iron on it because it takes far more heat than a standard iron can kick out to be able to melt that rubber. And also, if you've got the good quality polymer stamps, like I love Funky Frida, she is great. So if you've got good quality polymer stamps, hi Hillary! Oh, it's Hillary. I'm all worried now. Hillary's amazing, and I'm just such a noob compared to Hillary. Hilary does wood blocks, which we were using yesterday, last week, and I've got some of her wood blocks, and we used some of hers as well. Oh, I'm throwing off now. So yeah, so the funky Chrissa Frida, she is fabulous in Angelina, and because Kim stamps, we know that they work. We're quite happy to use them, so I'm going to cut off some of the excess from here. Where's my block? No, not that one. That one. Okay. So, because these are really good quality clear stamps and really good, they're really well made, they are not cheap, nasty polymer, and they're not silicone. They are really good quality polymer. That's the difference in a good clear stamp and a bad one. And these ones are absolutely, they take heat perfectly fine, perfectly beautifully, and you can block print and stuff with them as well, which I thought was pretty amazing. So I am going to ink up Frida really well, and then I am going to, now Frida is a fox, and foxes do have white parts on them. So the tip of the tail, the tip of the feet, and the best way to do this one is doing it in a full layer and then piecing it out and doing your paper piecing. Blending to try and get these little feet, these tiny little feet, is really difficult, really difficult. I've not been able to manage it, and I do this literally all the time. So where's my orange? I thought I had a big batch of orange. Okay, I'll use this one. So this orange is far too bright for a fox, but the pink blended into the orange gives you a really nice fox colour, and that's all out of the same pack. It's out of the cool pack. I know that Kim sells the pack, and of course we sell the packs. Not sure which other retailers off the top of my head do sell the packs, and Kim's got a really cool fantasy pack. There you go. Can you see that is a lot different to the orange, and it is a lot more foxy coloured. So I'm going to put that one on the head, I think. Yep. I think the fantasy pack is my favourite. It was a special that we did, so it's not a standard pack, and it's got beautiful dusky roses, and it's got some golds and coppers. Oh, it's a beautiful pack. I think Kim's the last one to actually have stock of that one. I don't know if it's on her website though, so she might kill me for saying it, since it was a limited edition. But you can buy them all individually, so you know, if there's a specific colour that you want, we can sort that out for you, or Kim can sort that out for you. Right, so this one is going to be my blended version. And again, close the sandwich. Whatever you do, you don't want to put a hot iron directly onto Angelina. Just don't do it. Don't do it. It's not too bad if it's a non-stick iron, because you can pull it off quite easily. But if you've not got a non-stick iron, you need to get the sandpaper out and sandpaper it. If you're lucky enough to have an old like cast iron, then just sandpaper it off if you get it stuck. So my image has come through. I can see my image. Not so much on the tail, so I need a bit more heat on the tail. There we go. That's looking good to me. Magic Waft. And look at the beautiful fox. So I'm going to do another one, and then I'm going to cut it out and piece it together and make a full fox out of it. I did use a reference image to work out which the white ones were the last time I did this, but I don't have that reference image. So I know the feet are white, the end of the tail is white, I think the face is white and the chest is white. I think that's right. You'll have to correct me. So inking up again with the StazOn, and I'm just going to grab some of this, and if I wanted to make it so it has like a blue hue to it, I could blend in some of the blue, but I think, yeah, let's do a little bit so the white is a bit more ethereal, I think. Yeah, you can see that blue just coming through. But blending it is really easy. You just basically split it apart and then you can pull it apart, put it together again and blend it again, and just keep going until you've got the blend that you like, really. And if you've not done enough in your blend and it's a bit thin, like I can see here that I've not got much fibre, it's very, very thinly patched there. Because the blend is on the front and the front is going to be the bit that's touching the stamp, I can just fill it in on the back just with white, and that just fills it in, and it won't really affect the blend. Or whatever your lighter colour is, it won't affect your blend. Hi Sarah! Sarah's good at doing Angelina as well. She used to do some beautiful Angelina projects for us. Now the white's a little bit deceptive because it can come through and it not be cooked. So I like to just go a little bit extra, but not too much, because it is possible to burn Angelina. Just bear that in mind. Okay, I'm going to do some cutting now, so I'm going to turn this off. And don't forget the Magic Waft. I got some pink. Look at that. Ah. Sarah probably knows off the top of her head. White bits on foxes are the feet, the end of the tail, the chest, and the main face, aren't they? Sure they are. Now, if you use a polymer stamp with heat, polymer is very, very thirsty and it likes water. So once I've used a polymer stamp, what I like to do is take a spritzer, any kind of water spritzer, and I like to just put the water back in the stamp before I put it away. So all I do is give it a little spritz and a little rub, and you can see already that it's just sucked that water right up. So it definitely needed, the water's just gone right in, definitely needed it. So I'm going to put a little bit more in. And that's it. So I'll leave that for a minute and then I'll put it away. I'll probably put it away after I've finished the show. Yeah, I thought so. And see, the StazOn still there. People think that StazOn ruins your stamps. It used to, and it will eat away at a stamp that is poor quality. So like a free stamp from a magazine, I wouldn't do this with a free stamp from a magazine, because not only will the StazOn eat into it and damage it, but the iron will wreck it as well. So I wouldn't do it with any kind of stamp like that. I know for sure that Kim's stamps at Crafty Roo, Kim's stamps are perfectly fine, so I'm not worried about this stamp at all. Okay, so to piece this together, not piece, all of this extra, what we do is I will cut it up into this and then show you. All this extra is not thrown away at all. So I only want the white pieces out of this one for now, but the rest I can use again. So I'm going to cut it out carefully. And I'm just going to cut out on the black line. And you'll see why on the black line. Not on the outside of the black line, I'm not on the inside of the black line, I'm actually on the middle of the black line. So that's 1 foot. And it's really easy to cut out. Don't need to worry at all. There's another little foot. Oh. You can see them starting to come together already. Now this chest should also be you definitely see them coming together now. And all of this isn't wasted. We'll just put this back in and fuse it again. So I'm not worried about any of the wastage because there is no wastage with Angelina. I feel like I'm at a show and I'm doing a demo, or I'm at one of my workshops doing a demo, but nobody's talking to me. It's strange, this streaming lark. Strange. Yep, he's definitely coming together now. And I mean, all the extra around the edge, you could leave some of it on and leave it fluffy. That'd look cool. Oop, dropped it. Sometimes on when I'm doing my lady stamp, sometimes I do her and leave her hair fluffy, so she looks really cool. And I did her, which my sample is just behind me. I did her in a project for Craft Stamper magazine, and it was in quite a while ago. And I did, it was for a Christmas bag, and she looks so cool. Look, see, I might leave a little bit of fluff. Yeah, let's leave a little bit of fluff. I think my titanium scissors, which are never supposed to blunt ever, are actually blunt, which is interesting. Now I have left the black nose on, and what I'm going to do is make it really black, because on both of them I didn't put enough ink where the face is. So what I'm going to do is find my black Sharpie. Oh, it's not a Sharpie. Hang on. There it is. And if I take my black Sharpie, I can then go in and darken up that nose and darken up the eyes. And make them stand out much more. Like that. So how simple is that? So just piecing it together, so simple. And then what I would do is just use some glue. PVA type glue works, smelly glue works, you know, the stinky silicone glues, they work. I think I want to put a bit of white on the ears. And I might just put the outside of the ear, and I'm just going to pull and trim away some of that so it's not a stick. Oh, it distorted the shape a bit. There we go. Yep, that looks really good. So I only want to, about there, pull some of this backing off. So you can see how the picture is coming together really nicely. Hi Paula! Oh, scroll my chat down. I forgot to scroll my chat down, sorry. When you're live streaming you have to actually scroll your chat down, so... And look at that. I've not glued it because I don't want stinky glue on my table while I'm doing this, because what will happen is I'll put my elbow in it or I'll put my arm in it. Sorry, the pink is washing out the camera. This sparkly washes out the camera because it is so sparkly. But I'll take a picture and I will put it on Instagram so you will see it finished. And I'm going to leave all of the fluff around the edge of this one because it's just so cute. So I will finish this one and I will put it on, as I say, Instagram. But look at the blend, it's gorgeous. I'll put the original orange next to it so you can see how the blend turns it, instead of being a bright orange, into a more foxy pink. Cool, isn't it? I love Angelina, I really do. So I've got a question about wood blocks. We just did a wood one, so I'll do another wood one in a second. And let me just put that somewhere where cats aren't going to destroy it, because that's the major problem in this place, is cats. Because we have 4. Technically 5, but 4. Okay. There we go. Now, I said all of this isn't wasted. It isn't. What I'm going to do is cut out all of the excess and show you what to do with it, and then I'll do another woodblock one. And there is a trick as well to get the bits with black on, but I've got a lot of stuff to show you, so I want to be quite quick. Where it's fused and it's got black lines on it, if you really want to go in and use that again, what I do is I cut off the black lines. I do it over here so I don't go in my mix. So the only bit that you actually, so it's not got any black lines on it, the only bit that you actually waste is with the black lines on. That's if you're bothered about the black lines. But all of this, you cut it up and watch your fingers, because I have cut my fingers a couple of times because I just go in and cut it up like that. All into the middle. And I've got a bit of foil here. Got my Geisha Girl I did earlier. I'm going to cut her out properly later. And that all goes in, watching your fingers. And there's a bit of foil in there as well. Where's my foil one? I'll cut, there it is. I'll cut a bit off the foil as well. So your thickness of your Angelina depends how thick you want your actual finished item. If you want it to be ethereal and light, use less. If you want it to be really thick and really stark, then use more. And it does take longer to fuse if you're doing the more is more approach. Right, just turn my iron back on. So I know now with this one, putting it at 3/4 into cotton was a little bit too much. So I'm going to turn it a couple of notches below. Hi Denise. No, you didn't, Paula. I'm going to be doing my girl in a minute. And I'm going to show you how to blend a face colour on her. So that one is really, really good. So bunched it all up in the middle roughly, and I'm going to remember to close your sandwich. So for those that are new that have jumped in, this is baking parchment, and you must use baking parchment. Don't use wax paper. Don't use greaseproof paper. Obviously, if you're using wax paper, you're going to get wax everywhere. If you're using greaseproof paper, you're going to get grease everywhere. So this scrap now is going to turn into Angelina paper, which is great for putting around book covers and stuff, and for sewing into. You can sew into Angelina. You can put raw Angelina into your wet felting as well. How cool is that? So if you're wool felting and wet felting and making felt and stuff. I don't make felt, there's proper terms for it, and I get told off all the time because it's not wet felting, it's something else. Needle felting, you can use it in. I don't know the terms. I don't do that. That's not my hobby. So you can see all of the images. See it all. Ooh, got a bit stuck. That looks fused to me when I open it. Give it a quick waft. And here we have a beautiful piece of fused scrap that you would have thrown away. Now it's got very rough edges, and I'm going to show you a trick how to get a straight edge. So I use this crease line. So I crease it with my nail. Make sure it is a really nice crease line. Put your Angelina up so it is over the crease line, and then I'm going to push it into the crease line and fold it over just like that. Did you see? So I put my Angelina over the crease line, put my fingers on it, and then I push it up, push it in, and fold it over and give it a press. And then I take my iron, iron it again, a little swish, almost forgot my swish. Look, I fused a piece of black in there. Let me pull it out because it's not fused properly. Good. And can you see I've now got a perfectly straight line. So if you want your Angelina to be a perfect square, perfect shape, perfect straight line, that's how you do it. What you could do is draw a perfect square, or what shape you want on it. Oh, you can actually see through. You don't need to draw it on. In this case, if I wanted to follow this shape on my mat, what I would then do is line my crease line up with that line what I've creased up there, bump it up, fold it, fuse it, and there we go, and turn it there. So I know that goes there, I know that one goes there. I need to cut a bit off, that's a bit too much. Bit too much to fuse at once. Then I'm going to fold there's my crease. See it there. And it does get a bit harder as you go around. But you get the idea. So if I put that up to there now, I'm getting perfect follow of the shape. So you can do perfect shapes if you want. Or if you don't want, just leave it nice raw edges. But if you want to get book pages, you want to do it as a base page, so you can do it as a page in a book. You can do it as an index card, whatever you fancy. So that's what to do with your waist. So none of your waist is actually wasted. Okay, so woodblock. I'll show you again on the woodblock. Oh, this one's one of ours. This is one of our stamps. It's a beautiful heart. Same thing, any kind of stamp. I will use a bit of film with this one. So I'm going to do her again. So she's the lovely Geisha. And I'm just going to have a drink. So ink up really well, and I am pushing in the middle, because if you actually look at the stamp, I don't know if I'll be able to get it to show you, the stamp pad is actually not deadly straight, and it kind of curves. So it's kind of curving that way. Can you see it? You might not be able to. So I know that this is inking up really well in the middle, but on the outside edges it's not. So give it a good press and a twist. A lot of people think that they can't stamp because they're not doing it right, but the problem is the ink pad. I mean, at the end of the day, it is ink. It's just an ink pad. It's a piece of felt, and when felt gets wet, it expands and it moves. So if you're having problems when you're inking up, press in the middle always and turn as when you're tapping. Don't just go like that, because if there's any flaw in the pad, you're going to get the same bit missing every time. So make sure you turn it as you're tapping. Yeah. Okay. So I put my piece of film down. I've just done one. You could do two. You could do a sandwich. You get a different look again if you do a sandwich to one. I've done the yellow one. So I'm going to put some of this nice blue back here. You say blue? Yeah, it'll look a bit green because blue and yellow make green. And I'm going to put a bit of the darker one down the side, make it a bit different. I'm going to put some of the silver in. I love the silver. The silver looks really good if you put it into ornaments as decoration for Christmas, because you don't have to fuse it. It is fusible fibre, but you don't have to. Now I could put another piece of film on top of that and make a sandwich. I will actually. I'll show you what that looks like, because I've got one that I haven't done that on. So I'll do one that is, so you can see the difference. They are going to have different colours inside though. Now, if you want to see a real master at fusing, come and visit us at one of the shows. Usually Knitting and Stitch, because you get a demo from Mike, and Mike is absolutely amazing at doing Angelina. He does the coolest things with Angelina. He puts it onto Tyvek and does it with, oh, he's so good. There is nothing that man doesn't know about Angelina. He is amazing at it. I mean, obviously, because, you know, I'm teaching you what he's taught me, so, you know. Okay, because it is the film, I like to give it an extra waft, because the film holds more heat than the fibre, but that's fine. And there we go. Look at that. So that's a rubber stamp. Does not bother your rubber stamps at all. Does not damage your rubber stamps. You're perfectly fine with your rubber stamps. Look, isn't she beautiful? And all of this excess again, cut it off, including fibre, because the fibre looks really good. And it makes really cool ornaments. Really cool ornaments. Christmas tree ornaments, because you can cut them out and just put a punch a hole through and put some string through, some nice fancy string, and you've got a Christmas ornament. Let me just grab a Christmas ornament that I did as a class with Kim, and I'll show you what I mean about not fusing it. Okay, this one was a workshop that we did at Daisy Nook Garden Centre. Kim is based near Manchester, and we did a joint workshop between me and her. And my part of the workshop, we made this beautiful bauble. It is a big bauble, and it's got gingerbread men in. Sorry, the reflecting. There you go. So it's got gingerbread men in, and it's got Angelina in the bottom. And it is double-sided. So that's just Angelina raw, stuffed in, and then the lid closed really quickly so you can see it actually coming out at the bottom. And it didn't take long to do. It was very quick. Very quick. It was, I don't know if Kim's still here. She'll be getting ready for her Hochanda show at 2, so she might not be paying attention, which is fine. I'll not hold it against her, honest. So I think we swapped. She did the morning class, I did the afternoon class, and everyone did finish their baubles, so it was really, really quick when you get the hang of it. So that's Angelina not fused. You don't have to fuse it, which is really cool. And then this one is what I'm going to work on next. So I did this as a bag, as a gift bag, and this was a project I did for Craft Stamper. And what I've done is I've fused the hair with some beautiful pinks and purples, stamped out the face. So the face is actually stamped and coloured, and then the wings are just done in the film. And the wings, you'll say, but that's not a stamp. No, it's not a stamp. The wings are actually her hair. And then I did a gift tag as well. So just standard gift tag. And if you're gonna do words, by far words look best in white. By far. The gingerbread men are stamp selling. And that's the actual size of the stamps. They are quite big. The Kim Crafty Roo stamps, the Gingerbread Men. They come on a set. They've got there's Gingerbread Men, there's candy canes. I can't remember what else is on the set, but they come on a set. So I'll show you how to do the wings. And I put a bit of Angelina. Can you say? Yep. So I put a bit of Angelina sticking out of the bottom. So the same technique that we did earlier with the fox. Oh, let me go in without losing any bits. So whoop. So with the ears, where I cut the outside of the ear, I did the same thing. So I cut off extra, the spare bit, and glued it under, just to add a bit of. So none of your Angelina goes to waste. Literally none of it. Oh. I don't want to ruin my fox. I'm not going to pick him up again. I nearly dropped all of his legs off and everything. So if you're doing a words, do it in black, stays on. Always do it in black, stays on. And just do it in white Angelina. I've tried. Hi Susie! Yay! Susie made it. I've tried everything that I can to get words to show up on other colours. They just don't. So take my word for it and just use one of the white. The white comes in different sparkles. So you get one that's like a violet one, you get a pearly one, a gold one. This one's a violet one. And they come out beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. But just save the trouble and don't bother trying to stamp words, because you just can't read them on anything else. I've tried and tried and tried. Maybe Mike knows a better combination, but I found that is the best for stamping words. So the wings and my girl. I love my girl. Ooh. So shameless plug it is, because you know I can. I have oh, this one looks really good as well. The bauble done in the yellow Angelina looks amazing. I'll do that one if I get a chance. I don't know what time we're on. Oh, it's 5 to 12. I'd best do my girl really quick. So, can't believe it's been almost an hour already. Now, I'm going to use the massive block, I think, because I'm going to do the big. So I've got I've got 3 stamp sets out with Crafty Roo, and one of them is this size, and one of them is stick this size, and they both have different words with them. I've got Christmas trees and all sorts in here. These are Crafty Roo ones as well. They shouldn't be in there. So you can see the difference in size. I have 2 sizes of girl. On this gift bag, I've used the smaller one. Actually, I think I'm going to use the smaller one today because I'm running out of time. And all of my stamps have words with them as well. If you don't like the girl stamp, because she is not to everyone's taste, she really is. She's just not to everyone's taste, and I understand that, because you know I don't like some stamps that people do, and you like the words, because I've had a lot of people that just wanted the words. You can actually get just the words on their own. So the little girl, she has "You Don't Look a Day Over Fabulous" and "Birthday Girl" on it, and the big lady has "The Best Phrase." And I'm going to 100% put my hands up here. I did not invent this. I did not pick the phrase, because I was going, I don't know what to do. So Kim did it, and she picked beautiful words to go with them. Absolutely beautiful. So we've got Spark Joy. That one is mine. I wanted Spark Joy. So Spark Joy is mine. And then I've got, she did "A Woman with Attitude," "A Girl with a Mind," and "A Lady with Class." and you've got be a woman with attitude, a girl with a mind. So you can just get the words on their own. And I will not be upset if you don't like my girl stamp, because everyone has their own tastes. So don't think that I'll be upset with you if you go, no, I don't like it. That's fine. There's plenty of stamps out there that I don't like, so, you know. Oh. I'll just use a big plate. Right, let's stick her down. I can feel instantly that she's a little bit dry, so I'm going to wet her and rub her in. And this won't affect doing the Angelina at all. That's better. She feels better now. And gonna wipe off the excess. Might damage my stays on though. Actually, it shouldn't. There we go. She feels much better. So to blend a face. Oh. Sorry, my blue did a runner. I'm going to ink her up. She does, doesn't she, Susie? Kim always has the best phrases. I just completely bow down to her on that one. I was like, I want spark joy, and that's about it. And she was like, well, we need to put more on, so the rest are completely her invention. And I do like the be a woman with attitude, definitely. Goes well with this, really well with this. Bye, Sarah, thanks for coming. Have I put her in? No, she's fine. So, blending a face. Now, it depends on what kind of colour you want. I have only got pinks and whites, so I am going to go for a Caucasian face. Could do a fairy face and add a little bit of ethereal blue and silver in there. But if you are going to do any other faces, so if you want really nice rich browns, I would go for the golds. And I would always blend with the white or the silver. There's a reason behind that, because the white makes everything blend really well. It's not because I'm just trying to do a white Caucasian face. It's because the white just makes everything lighter so you can get tones. Think of it as painting. You want a lighter tone, so you would add white. It's exactly the same theory. So I've got some pearly white here, and I've got some silver. Now they will do you two different tones. So if you wanted more ethereal, I'd blend with silver. If you want more normal, I'd blend with white. So I'm going to go for this pink, which is in the cool set, sorry, the warm set. And I also want a little bit of this really, really in your face pink. So I want a little bit of both. So first thing I'm going to do is get the white and pull that out. And I've already inked it up and it's drying, and you're thinking it's drying. It's fine. Absolutely fine. Hi Lindsay, lovely to see you. So I'm going to pull out some of this really, really in your face pink. And you can see that I'm not actually pulling out much. There is very, very light there. Very, very small amount. Because that pink, I just want it to add a warmth. And I'm blending together. And I'm not using much because her face is only small. And a little bit more white. And then this really nice warm pink is going to warm it up. So if you wanted to do a more, if you want to do like an Indian type face, colouring, skin colouring, a lovely rich brown, I would go for one of the really nice rich goldy browns. And I'll go for one that is really, really dark as well. We've got a beautiful copper and a beautiful gold, and they make a lovely tan. Lovely tan. So I'm pulling them together. Can you see? I'm moving them. I'm pulling them together. making sure that all the colours are separated. Now can you see how I'm starting to get a really nice skin tone? Looks a bit bright because it's washing it out on my camera, but trust me, really nice skin tone. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to angle that over the face and body, just like that. Push it off the hair, and I always blend the face and put the face on first and the hair on after. So for hair, let's do her a bit fairy-like. I'm going to go in with some silver. Make sure that silver is pushed right up to the face. And I want some of this beautiful blue because I love this blue. I wish my hair was this colour blue. Or silver, to be fair. And I'm not blending them because I didn't put much white on, much silver. And then I want it backed with, I'm using this darker blue. So I want some darker to come through. Just like that. Close my lid and give it a nice press. Okay. Let's give her a waft. Let's see what we think. Oh, look at that. She looks like she has a strip of makeup across her eyes. The blend is absolutely perfect. Looks really bright on camera. Let me see if I can focus it a bit better. No, I'm not going to be able to. So to do the wings, she does look very fairy-like actually. She does look really ethereal. It's hard to show you on camera, but I'll take a picture later again. She'll go on YouTube, on Instagram and Facebook. So I'm going to show you how to do the wings really quickly. Woo. So wings, I'm just inking up her hair because that's all I want. And I'm going to take, I did do on the other one was green and blue, but I'm going to do pink. And I'm just going to take, I want 2 layers of film. I'm going to put that on. Whoop. Close it up, and this will fuse really quickly because it's just 2 layers of film. Be careful when you're just using film because it fuses really quickly and it's really easy to burn. There we go. It's great, isn't it, Denise? Absolutely great. Don't forget your Magic Waft. So, ooh, the shimmer is sending my camera crazy. I'm really sorry about that. So what I'm going to do now to make wings. So these wings, as you will see if you are wily-eyed, is basically her hair. Which bit is it? Which way did I do it? That way. So all I did was did a few of them, and then I cut out, roughly guessing what a wing looks like. I must say that when I did this project, I was obsessed, absolutely obsessed with Carnival Row, and I like binge watched it twice. So it does explain a lot about the whole wing situation. And let's see. Definitely need to order a ring light. Gonna go for Amazon or one of the other big suppliers. And there she has a wing. See if it shows up better. Now, this background is done with our amazing paints, including the shimmer, but you can, because it's not just got sparkly, you can actually see the wings on this one. But that's how I did the wings. They're basically just cut out of her hair, just like that. Almost got it to the same size as well. You can get two pairs out of one, so you get two big ones out of one and then two little ones out of another. So to do the other side wing, you're basically just doing the same thing. Oh, that's a little wing rather than the other side. There. Two wings. Really, really simple. So I'm going to call it a day at that because we've been on for over an hour now. It's 12:10. It is lunchtime, and I do expect the door to come flying open anytime soon because Wadda is 10 minutes behind for his lunch. So he is literally due, and he's not very often late. So that's it for this week. Next week, are you ready? So if you wanted to watch on catch up, what we did this week, yesterday, we finished off the bag, and I finished sewing the bag yesterday, and I tidied it all up. So all of my handles are sewn in properly and everything's done. So we finished the tie-dye bag and we sewed it into a bag. Let's zoom out so you can see. There we go. So that's our reusable shopping bag, done and dusted. I've got one more bag to do, and I'm going to be doing the second bag next week on Wednesday. So Wednesday we're going to do and sew the other bag. Now Thursday we're going to be doing my favourite product, and surprisingly it's not Brusho or Angelina. Are you surprised? Because most people are surprised when I say that my very most favourite product from Colourcraft is transfer dye. Look at this. Look at it. Is that not amazing? So this is next week on Thursday. I'm going to be showing you how to do beautiful transfer dye onto anything synthetic. So if you want synthetic, if you want to do transfer dye, you have to have synthetic fabric. But look at the colours. This is I got this from Evil Bay, and it is cheap polyester satin curtain lining. I got a mountain of it for like £4, literally. But look at it. Isn't it amazing? That's bubble wrap done in transfer dye. That one, I don't know how I did that one. I did it at a show and it came out with this like wood grain texture on it. Never been able to repeat it, but I do try. Again, that's another one that is bubble wrap onto cheap polyester satin. I just found that one. That was in my bag of Angelina for some reason. But look how bright that comes out. And this one is done onto Everlon, because Everlon is a synthetic. So my very favourite, and I'm warning you now, I will go over because I absolutely love transfer die. What you need for transfer die is you need the transfer die, which comes like this, and it is a paint. And this one is emerald green. This is emerald green. But when you actually look at it, it looks like moss green. So the colours are deceiving. What you paint may not be what comes out. Oh, got that everywhere now. So it's very deceptive, which is why I love it. So what you need is some, if you want to follow along and you have transfer paints in your stash that you have never used, you need transfer paint. You need really cheap printer paper, the cheapest printer paper that you can find, and you need paintbrushes. And then you need whatever you're transferring it to. So if you've got polyester t-shirts, you can transfer dye t-shirts. If you have anything polyester, you can transfer to it. So long as it is synthetic, the more synthetic, the brighter the colours that you get. I mean, look at it. This one is my favourite ever piece ever. I'm going to, when I get round to it, I'm going to turn it into a little purse. So it's going to be a little purse. Can you imagine that as a little purse? It's going to be beautiful, isn't it? I mean, look at it. Just the colours and I did do a bit of Markle paint sticks on a rubbing plate over the top. So that's what the gold lines are. You can actually see how shiny the Markle is on this one. So next week, Wednesday, 11 AM, same place, we are finishing the other bag. So that's the square one. This one was the strip one. We're doing the square one. Thursday, same place, 11 o'clock, we are doing transfer die. And you can use stamps for transfer die as well. So don't worry if you don't know how to paint. It's fine. This one was just fold your paper in half, splodge it all over, close it, rub it, open it up, transfer it, and that's what we got. So you don't need to have any kind. You can use transfer die on Luchador Susie. It does work on Luchador. It does take a little bit longer to transfer because you've got to do it on a lower heat. And you basically do transfer die with an iron. So we'll be having the iron out again. Gosh, what are you lot doing to me? Ironing twice this week. Last week as well I ironed, and I'm going to be ironing again next week. You're killing me, people. You are killing me. So, come back today on the Crafty Roo channel, and let me just get you the link. Should have brought it up. It is Thursday, and Kim from Crafty Roo always does brusher on a Thursday. It's brusher Thursday. So I'm just going to get you the group because it is in the group. I think it's in the group anyway. So if you want brusher, see Kim today at 3 o'clock. At 2 o'clock, Kim is on Hochanda. And I don't know if she's doing brusher in her demos, but she quite often does. So she will be on Hochanda today, 2 o'clock. And then at 3 o'clock on Facebook, she will be live for you to talk to. Link is in the chat. So scroll down if you're watching this on replay and join her group. It's a fab group, definitely for crafters. So it's all paper crafting and really cool stuff. And if you really like my stamps and my girl and my head, where have I put one? I had one. Ah, there. So if you really like my girl, and next week, so the week after next, I'm going to do some paint and some more paper crafting. So I'm going to be showing you how to make backgrounds like these, which you need a brayer, acrylic paint. You can use ours or anybody else's. Some shimmery paint as well, and some stamps. So I'll be making really cool backgrounds. This one's a polyplate background actually. You can see the circle polyplate on it. So thank you very much for watching, and I will catch you on the flip side. Everything I've used today is available from Colourcraft direct, apart from my stamps, which are available from Kim at Crafty Room. So see you all next week, and well, I might see you in Kim's group at 3 o'clock. Bye.